If this is what they think we're worth, like how hard it was to get there as a driver, just to see those numbers, that's a slap in the face, man.
Again, I think this is like from an operator perspective, someone who's run the businesses and has consulted with businesses, this is not a value judgment on you as a person. Their buyout offer is strictly bottom line. How much they can realistically, across thousands and thousands and thousands of employees, cut them a check to hopefully jump on it and take a retirement versus them valuing you as a person. Man, I feel like we knew this was going to happen as soon as they signed that massive contract with the drivers. But here's the situation. UPS just offered 105,000 of its drivers, $150K each to walk away. Gone. Done. And they sweetened it. They said that they can keep their pension, they can keep their healthcare benefits that they've earned as long as they've earned it. Just sign here, take the check, never come back. You're good. Now on the surface, I know what you're thinking. Man, 150K? Man, I would take that in split, right? I'm good. But there's a reason why some drivers are calling it a slap in the face. There's a reason why one of the most powerful unions in the country, the Teamsters, ran to federal court to try to block it. But there's also a reason why the federal judge decided to greenlight it anyway. We're taking a look at the reactions to the UPS 150K buyouts. We're going to do it right now. Let's do it.
UPS 2.0 buyout, 150K to go ahead and retire early. Let's talk about it. Now, for the record, I am on break, so let's get that out of the way.
Man said, I am
but
on
yeah,
break.
UPS straight from corporate this morning.
Don't fire me early, UPS. I'm on break. Here's the proof.
Went ahead and announced that they're offering any driver, regardless of the amount of time you've been with the company, $150,000 to retire early and walk away from UPS. What this really is UPS is looking to do layoffs. Now, because we are union, drivers in those positions are safe, and we are the ones that make the most out of any position within the company.
It's true. Drivers do make a substantial amount. And then, of course, if you remember, I think a couple of years ago, the drivers got a big bump that they're making even more. I used to work at UPS years ago. When I started my first ever business, I was a preloader. So that meant that I had to be there 4 a.m. in the morning to 8 a.m. in the morning. I got 100% benefits. I think I wasn't really there for the money. I think it was like $15 an hour or something, but I made 100% benefits in that 4-hour period. Right. So they were putting a lot of cash out just for benefits, generally speaking, but that's why I did it. I was self-employed. It was good for me. I could like come in super early before everything started and get benefits for the family when I needed it. So that's why it worked for me.
As far as labor, this year, UPS is looking to downsizing 30,000 employees from the current 300,000 union members that are in the United States. What this means. Now, what I think is that UPS in the long run is looking to eventually step away from the union so that way that they can hire cheaper labor to do the positions that we do here, i.e. drivers, and not having to pay us what they pay us at top rate. If UPS can cut down drivers to say under 2/3 after all these buyouts are said and done, eventually UPS could step away from the union and have cheaper labor like FedEx or Amazon to do what we do out here.
It's possible, but it's going to cost a lot of time and a lot of money in fighting the union to make that happen. Unions do not want to, surprise, give up union dues. When you slash union jobs or when union jobs crater, so do union dues. It's not like there's another UPS out there like a carpenter's union or something where they can just go to another job site and find some more work, right? The UPS is UPS. So when you slash thousands of jobs, those union dues evaporate and those employees go somewhere else because they have to ultimately feed their family.
But because we're unionized, that's really hard for UPS to be able to maneuver and pull off in this given time. Now, 150,000, pretty nice. I've been with the company 4 years. I am 27 years old, and my health and body is still where I need it to be to perform doing this job day in and day out. But for somebody that might be older, maybe 40, 50, body might be starting to kind of throw some check engine lights or whatever.
Hate on the 40.
Or you're just looking to retire early, or maybe you even have a business on the side and you want to invest that money into your business and try to do something. I can see you wanting to take the 150,000. Me personally, I'm going to wait. I feel like it's a matter of time before UPS offers more. If you think about it, if they want to start offering 300,000 to $500,000, maybe even close to $1 million to retire and walk away from UPS and the union, that would be something to consider. Now, I know what you're thinking. That's a lot of money to just walk away and retire. Hear me out. In the grand scheme of things, yes, $300 to $500 to maybe even $1 million per driver to retire sounds like a lot. But for a company that makes billions every year, you bite the bullet now, you're able to make more money in the long run.
Okay, couple of things here. UPS's goal is not to retire you permanently. They are not going to take you off the road, give you a check for $3, $5, and $1 million to send you to some island so that you can just chill for the rest of your life, or you can go live out your dreams building a business, a jet ski business like the Shawshank Redemption or something like that. That's not their goal, right? And just because they generate billions of dollars doesn't mean that they retain earnings of billions of dollars. You have to check their financials, right? How much money do they actually make as a company? Yes, it's true that they make billions of dollars and their revenues and their net profit is probably hundreds of millions of dollars. However, there's a big operational expense gap in between what they earn and what they pay out. Now, obviously, layoffs are a way to preserve operational expenses. I've been in business for over 2 decades, and I have routinely helped companies do this with their own businesses. They are not going to retire you. I think that this is a throw spaghetti against the wall just to see how many UPS drivers actually grab at this big check type of moment for UPS. However, if there's a target audience where this is aimed to, it's aimed at drivers that have been with them for 35, 40 years to get them out. And those people are in a completely different, phase of life than this fella right here who's talking. This guy has 2 young kids. It sounds like he's maybe just got married. He's just starting his life. I don't think this buyout is specifically for him, which is why they would not come up, because there's probably plenty of older folks that have been driving for them that would take this because they are close enough, right? Maybe they're 27 years, right? But this guy has a long way to go, it seems like, in life and with UPS.
By hiring cheaper labor. So mark my words, it's just a matter of time before UPS throws out another offer for a buyout, and possibly one after that. And the figures are going to be higher.
Not going to happen.
You start talking that kind of money, that's a way that you could take your life in a different direction. Start up a business, get an LLC, do something to where maybe you could become an entrepreneur if you're smart and want to invest your money properly to let your money work for you and take your life in a different career path.
This is a fallacy, in my opinion. This guy, it's like classic fallacy where people see an amount of money and just assume they could go higher because the amount of money is substantially higher than they maybe even thought would be possible with the buyout. They're not going to go to $500,000. They're not going to go to $300,000. You are not going to see that. If they ever did go above 150, it would be for very small select group of drivers, and those drivers will probably be in the top 1% of people who have been with them the longest, likely people who are 40 years in or something like that, super close to the end of their careers to get them out because they're earning higher. And that would probably be a few hundred drivers. It would certainly not be a $150,000 check to thousands of employees. That is not going to happen. This is as high as they're going to go. And trust me, they're going to get plenty of people who bite at this 150.
I think it's supposed to be like 150,000, no matter the years of service. But apparently our union said no, that it's against the contract, which it is. Them offering us a buyout was against the contract in the first buyouts. There's so much discourse between UPS and the union and the workers and the workers and UPS. So UPS has effectively become a cluster. And I'm getting a little nervous, not about how I stand in the rankings, like I have enough seniority that I'll be fine. But I'm more getting nervous about the union's longevity at UPS because of the way that UPS is going at right now. And there's been a lot of changes. Like, I guess Carol Tomei wants to shift us to a medical business where we only ship medical supplies, which doesn't make sense because we've been one of the biggest shipping 120 years. And I don't know. It's just that. That
would be like stupid. Why would they even do that? Why would they move UPS to? I know that UPS moved to cancel their contract with Amazon, 50% of their Amazon contracts because of profitability. But for them to move to strictly medical transportation would be kind of silly.
Where we only ship medical supplies, which doesn't make sense because we've been one of the biggest shipping conglomerates for 120 years. And I don't know. It's just the way things are going are a little scary. There are people that are getting laid off, and I feel really bad about those people. Like, that's really we have quite a few people that we're trying to make it to where they don't have to get laid off. So a lot of us are taking extra vacations. But it's just like, protect yourself, protect your job, do what's best for you. Don't do what's best for UPS. Do what's best for you as a person. That's all that matters. Do what's best for you, best for your situation, best for your life.
I mean, I think at the end of the day, you have to do what you have to do. You have to analyze your situation, analyze your circumstance, do the math. So many people don't do the math. What is this opportunity going to cost me? What is this opportunity going to mean for me and my family? Weigh the risk and the benefit. Do the math. Does it work? Don't just jump because there's a big check, or don't just reject it because you think you could get more, or don't just reject it because you're personally offended. You have to kind of put your personal feelings to the side and just think about sheer ruthless logic, just like these companies are, right? So you are selling your labor to UPS or to any company that you work for. That's economics. You are selling your labor to the market. You have to come from a pure economic standpoint, be dispassionate about your choice, and make a decision that's best for you and your family. That I do agree with her on, is that, a lot of people don't do that. They don't make a decision what's best for them and their family. However, I heard that the Teamsters actually did something interesting when it comes to this second buyout for $150,000. Let's listen to the news report.
The National Teamsters Union is asking a federal judge to block a new UPS driver buyout program. It calls it illegal and a violation of the National Labor Contract ratified back in 2023. Now, the union filed an emergency motion this week accusing UPS of bypassing union leadership, eliminating protected jobs, and undermining workers' rights. This comes after UPS announced 30,000 job cuts earlier this year. The Driver Choice Program would offer drivers a one-time payout in exchange for permanently giving up their jobs, union representation, and future benefits. Teamsters leaders said a similar buyout was widely rejected last year and warned this new plan could cause irreparable harm. UPS has not yet responded publicly to this.
So a couple of updates. From what I understand, the offer actually was $150,000. The news report said that they have to give up their union representation, which I don't know about that part, but it also said they had to give up their benefits. From my perspective and from what I understand, they don't have to do that. It's $150,000, and you get to keep whatever benefits you've earned. You get to keep whatever pension you've earned as well. So those kind of like three things go together. 150, the benefits, pension you've earned, that kind of stuff goes together. I do have an update though on the injunction. So the Teamsters went to court to try to file an injunction to try to stop these offers the UPS are making. And from what I understand, the judge rejected that injunction, and UPS is continuing to make these offers. So kind of take a look at this story, monitor it, and see how it goes. But for now, my question to you is, would you take it? I have some thoughts. All right, so here's where we actually are. A federal judge just cleared the UPS to move forward with their $150K buyout offers. The Teamsters lost their injunction. They tried to get an injunction, which basically means they stopped everything that's going on in the tracks by the order of a judge. The judge got rid of the injunction, at least for now. That means that UPS is actively out there offering these $150K packages. So the union estimates that over 10,000 people are actually going to take the $150K buyout. But here's a question. Do you think that the union is more concerned with their union dues than anything else? It's possible. Anyways, if 10,000 people take it, that's $1.5 billion in payouts. The UPS is betting that the savings from cutting all those $150K checks between salaries, benefits, retirement obligations will far outpace what they're spending today. That's the reason why companies make cuts that they do. This is strictly a money play. If it costs us $1.5 billion today versus $5-6 billion in the future for compensation, we're going to save that money 3, 4, 5 times the cash expenditure later, today, all day, every day. Well, whether that's the right call for UPS as a company, that's still up in the air. But their volume has gone down because Amazon's gone, right? They need to get a little bit leaner, and I understand the business logic behind it. Whether it's the right call for the workers, that depends on who you ask. If you're a UPS driver who's been in it, has 30, 35 years in it, maybe you feel a little bit more inclined to take it versus a UPS driver who's 5, 10, 15, 20 years in. It all depends on who you are. You got to do what's best for you. But the real story here isn't how the company is just offering buyouts. It's what's happening to one of America's most protective union jobs, right? A job that literally built the middle class for so many people is starting to shrink. UPS is clearing out these jobs at an unprecedented rate. If you're a UPS driver watching this, drop your comment. Let me know what you think. If you're not a UPS driver, in the comments, drop your comment and let me know what you think. Would you take a $150K buyout? Would you actually want more than that? You think that's fair? Let me know in the comments. Now, if you understand how we got there, how Amazon basically blew up the UPS's business model, that story, that's something that's part of this as well. So let me know what your comment is, how you're feeling about this in the comments. I'll see you in the next one.